Welcome back to the Week in Watches, here with John Gage from Watch Keil. I'm Gary from Magazine IW.
I'm John Keil from Watch Gauge.
Gary from IW Magazine.
That was unexpected. That was great.
Have a little fun.
So, we're calling this the Week in Watches, but we're pumping out a few episodes, I think, a week. So we're going to stick with the name, but it's really because Watches and Wonders just ended, and there's a lot of stuff to cover.
Yeah, John, Watches and Wonders has a lot of content, but every week I get more than we could possibly cover, more than we can possibly show online. So we'll continue to call it the Week in Watches, but
just because that's what we started as, but we may do 2 or 3 episodes every single week,
perpetually. There's so much coming in. Maybe we'll even categorize it to some extent beyond what we're doing here. Maybe do American watches
I like that idea.
Something else. We
Micro
appreciate
brands.
your input on that as well. Send us a comment. Or
so let's just dive right in.
Moving on to the LVMH group, Bvlgari, one of the houses that went from fashion to watchmaking the right way.
I agree.
Ultra slim. They really, have mastered the art of high horology, and they've built their own look and feel. The Octo is clearly Bvlgari. It doesn't look like anything else out there. And this year they've launched a chronograph into the Octo collection. It's slim. I'm guessing it's 41 millimeters. I didn't have those details, but their previous Octos were 41 millimeters. And it's got a Clous de Paris dial, which is very nice. Clous de Paris or hobnail creates a depth and pattern to the dial that you can see here. And what's worth noting is that the chronograph pushers are so well integrated into the stainless steel case that it almost...
You don't even see them.
You really don't even notice them. I did not have a chance to play with this. Mike, our editor, Mike Thompson, did have a chance to play with them, said the action was superb and amazing on their new movement, which we don't have a picture of at this time. They did not supply us with a sample or a movement as yet.
Is that not it?
There it is.
So they must have uploaded it without your knowledge.
They did. So they uploaded. There's 2 tourbillons we won't be able to show you that. I know we don't have the images, but there you go. That's the movement. It doesn't really show a lot here. It's a full bridge.
It doesn't, yeah.
But, I would guess this is about 10, 11 millimeters thin. Just a beautiful, elegant chronograph. It's available in, I think, 3 different dials. Oh, no. Black or blue dials in the chronograph.
Right.
And we're going to move on to the same basic family of watches, the Octo Automatic. So a little cleaner, a little simpler, with the same design cues that you feel here. It's not super expensive. We're not talking the stratospheric prices of Patek Philippe. The chronograph was 9,900 euros. This automatic is 7,900 euros. This information is so fresh, they still haven't determined the U.S. pricing, but you can guess it's probably about 3 or 4% higher than that in dollars at today's exchange rate. Right. I would say.
I got to tell you, coming from the world that I came from, of high-end watches, I was often not a fan of a lot of these fashion houses creating high-end watches. But I just want to reiterate that you nailed it on the head, in my opinion, that I think Bvlgari, if they didn't sell clothing, perfume, shoes, or anything, I don't even know what they sell in high fashion, I'd still be a huge fan.
Yeah, there's no question. And they make a good value argument, too, especially when you look at the competitive set around them and the effort that they put in. They're not using, typically, most of their watches don't use clones of other movements.
Right.
Their designs are clearly their own.
Correct.
They have some character, they have some shape, they're not vanilla plain. But they're also not always overdone until we show you the one that's about to be overdone. But this automatic here that we're talking about is available with a
3 colors.
Anthracite, blue, and white dials. As I mentioned, 7,900 euros, and available on a bracelet or with a rubber strap.
I'm a big fan of this guy here.
Yeah, and it's a quick change system so that it's very easy to take the strap off and change it around. And you can see, again, better watch companies will do the integration of the strap directly into the case. You don't see that big gap.
Yep.
So this is a watch that you're not going to be able to slap a NATO bracelet on.
Right. Because
you're not going to have the clearances, but you don't want to either because this has its own, this belongs, that strap belongs with that.
Yeah.
But now, Bvlgari is also a horology house, and here's an example of a tourbillon by Bvlgari in the Octa collection. They call it the Roma Precious Naturalia. Just 165,000 euros, integrating tiger's eye into elements of the case and under the crystal on the markers you can see. Not an easy thing to do, and again, it's just those little subtle touches that make it different. Bvlgari is a fashion brand. It can be a little bit more daring and still get away with it, but that doesn't take away from the horological legitimacy.
Yeah, and to me personally, I agree. I think, you know, to me, this appeals to me personally a whole lot more than, let's say, the Rolex when they did that leopard pattern or lion pattern. You know, to me, that shouldn't be, I don't know what it is, and I may be completely wrong, and you guys might, you know, crucify me in the comments. But to me, I think it's okay when Bvlgari does it versus, you know.
Well, a fashion house, you would expect something a little bit more avant-garde from Cartier or Bvlgari, because this is Chopard, yeah, in their jewelry collection for sure. Yeah. And then you see the over-the-top diamonds. This is actually smaller than I thought. This is a 38 millimeter watch, just draped in diamonds.
Yeah.
Inside and out, under the crystal and on top.
With rubies as well. Looks like his hour markers.
Yeah, you've got your rubies in there, and also happens to be a tourbillon as well. And this is 130,000 euro. Oh no, that's not. That's, I don't see the pricing on this one. Oh, 190,000 euros for the diamond version.
Okay.
And Mike was writing about two others. If you see the sketch just below this one, he's talking about this, but they didn't have images for us yet. But if you can use your imagination, we're going to have a jumping hour with the minutes that are traveling across a 180-degree arc, and a tourbillon in the middle. So a central tourbillon, which is not unprecedented. I think the first one I remember seeing was the Omega central tourbillon.
Right.
And it's become a little bit more common, although by no means common. We're expecting images of two versions of this watch anytime this week or next, and we'll update this particular post with those when they're available.
Right on. If we're going favorites here, I'd say the blue on the strap for me. I like the bracelet, but I'm not a bracelet guy. But I think that's handsome.
Yeah, you know, I like the three-hand automatic.
Me too.
I don't know if it's that I'm getting older and I just can't see the subdials as well, or I've just seen so many chronographs. I love the functionality of the chronograph, but the cleaner dial of a three-hand with or without date really appeals to me now.
Yeah, I agree. And I like no dates, believe it or not, on most of my watches. I think that might go to age as well, because I can't read my date when I look at my trusty old Draken here. All right, so
that's one from the Bvlgari crew.
All good news from Bvlgari, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. And again, iwmagazine.com or
watchgauge.com. But WatchGauge, this stuff's not going to be on. It's going to be on our YouTube channel. But
the next watch that we talk about, maybe. You never know.
You never know.